Okay, welcome to Podnutz Daily for December 2nd, 2008, episode number 114. Some of you guys out there may be wondering why I'm not wearing a hat anymore. And that's only because I haven't found a cool new hat to wear. So I'm going to get a hat in the next week, and I'm going to start wearing the hat again. For those of you who don't like the hat, I don't know what to say. I'm going to be wearing one, so enjoy these episodes while you can. Here we go. Today at the shop, here's a couple things we did. Avast. Now, I haven't been using Avast for antivirus because I've been putting it on my customers' machines, and it's a free antivirus, and that's great and everything, but Avast has a tricky way of having you continue your registration. When it says you need to register it to get another year for free, the option to actually do that is kind of hidden. You have to scroll down, whereas the other options are in plain view. So my customers are getting it, and they're getting past their 30 or 60 day trial, and then it's telling them that they have to buy it, and they're getting confused because I told them it was free, and so because Avast is not making it very easy, we've been switching to using AVG, which I actually have now been seeing is a little bloated, AVG version 8, but more recently, actually, I've been recommending Norton Antivirus 2009, which we sell out of the shop now, and that's been going really good. There's people that they want to buy it because they recognize the name Norton, and it's a lot more slimmed down than the previous versions of Norton. So I like it, and that's what we're recommending. So that's what I've been using now. If they don't buy Norton, I put AVG on the machine, even though it is a little bloated. But the reason I'm bringing this up is Avast. I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you do load Avast, there's two little like blue circular balls down in the taskbar over by the clock, and it takes up, there's actually two icons for Avast. It takes up a lot of space. I didn't know this. My dad actually told me this today when he found out. You could merge those two icons into one ball, one blue ball, and I think you right click on the A, the blue A, the ball that has the A on it, and there's an option to merge the two icons. So you can have them all just in one, and you don't have to have the two spinning around down there. So that's a little tip. A customer came in distress today. Really stressed out, was almost on the verge of tears or just complete despair. What he had done was he'd recorded a show directly onto a DVD. He had a DVD recorder. He recorded a show directly from his video camera onto a DVD. Now, what happened was, at the end of the show, when they were closing down all their equipment, somebody pulled the plug on his DVD player before it had a chance to finalize the disc. And in these DVD recorders, you have to finalize the disc before the DVD can be viewable. And he brought the disc in praying that we can help him recover the data on this DVD. Now, I think under normal circumstances, a lot of the times you can get those files back, but either they pulled the plug too early on this one or something, but Windows obviously didn't recognize the files on it. There's a couple DVD programs we tried to use to get it the disc to finalize and recover his data. One was called DVD Decryptor, which did not work. Another one was called ISO Buster, which didn't see the files. And finally, there was some kind of data recovery program that also couldn't recover the files. If anybody, he's gone now, I didn't get his number, but just for future reference, if anybody does know of a way to recover files off of a DVD before it has a chance to finalize, let me know. Another customer came in with a program, an antivirus program on his computer called The Shield 2009. I think it's called the Defense Shield or something like that. I believe this is spyware. I believe this is something that you get prompted to buy if your computer gets infected with a certain amount of spyware. And keep your eye open for that. We ran Malwarebytes. I don't think Malwarebytes got rid of it. So I'm not 100% sure that it is malware, but I know it is something that you get prompted to buy when spyware's on your machine, so it might be spyware. Anyway, we got rid of that and we put Norton on the machine. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Shield, though. Also, a Dell laptop came in. A customer complained that when they turn the Dell laptop on, when they press the power button, it would power on for a second and then turn off. Then it got to the point where it wouldn't even turn on at all. They suspected it was the power jack, so what I did was and they bought a brand new power adapter. So what I did on this one was I plugged their power adapter in, turned the computer on, nothing. I didn't even get a light or anything. I checked the voltage on their power adapter, No voltage, even though they said it was a brand new power adapter. I tried a power adapter that I had. As soon as I plugged the computer in and turned it on, I smelled a distinct burning, plasticky burning smell. Something was definitely getting fried in there, so I unplugged it as fast as I could. Then I tested my power adapter out. No voltage on my adapter either. Then, all of a sudden, my power adapter, when I unplugged it and plugged it back in, it clicked on. It worked. Same thing when I unplugged theirs and I plugged it back in, their power adapter works. So the power adapters obviously have some sort of shut-off switch that when there's something happening, dead short or voltage spike, they turn off. And you have to unplug them and plug them back in to turn them on, or they might have a timer that might come on their own. Well, so now I know both power adapter works, and I know something is getting fried inside that computer. Took the whole thing apart, noticed there was some burning right at where one of the leads from the power adapter or power jack connects to the motherboard. But once I cleaned up that lead, there was still a short in the motherboard. So I took off the whole power jack itself and just tested the points, the positive and negative points on the motherboard where the power jack attaches. It was still shorting out. So there was somewhere on that motherboard that the thing was shorting out. I don't know where it is, what point it is, because none of the components on the motherboard appear fried. I guess tomorrow what I could do is hook it back up if I feel eventful and see where the smoke starts to come out of on the motherboard. I'll know which component is getting fried. Maybe that'll give me a hint. But I think for the most part, they're going to need to go with a new motherboard. That was actually the first motherboard, though, where I actually removed the power jack and still the motherboard was shorting out on positive and negative. Usually the short occurs in the power jack or where the power jack connects to the motherboard. But this was happening in a component, some other unknown component on the motherboard. Okay. A customer brought in a computer. The kid was using it in their bedroom, hardwood floors. The computer fell off the bed, slammed onto the floor, and now would not turn on. I even tried it when she brought it in to power it on. Nothing. No power. Nothing. Well, what I did, and this is the first step I usually do, is when I take a laptop, whether it turns on, off, or not, I take it outside and I blow all the dust out of the computer. I blow all the dust out of the laptop. I use a can of compressed air on laptops. I don't use the leaf blower. And if I think there's a lot of dust even in there, even after I hit it with the compressed air, the canned air, I take it inside. I take a wet dry vac. I turn it on blower. I don't keep it on suck. I put it on blower, and I blow out like the fan and the heat sink. If it looks like there's chunks in it that aren't coming out, I'll put it on vacuum and I'll try sucking out those chunks of dust or whatever's in there, lint, and try to get those out through the bottom of the laptop on the fan. But that's in extreme conditions. So I did that, put the computer onto the workbench,